I'm not sure where things went wrong in my life. My name is Bernard Paul, but everyone calls me Paul. I was born in a poor Kentucky family on February 13th, 1900. Times were hard for everybody economically, but it wasn't until years later that we realized it was all leading up to the Great Depression. My parents struggled to feed us, and we moved around a lot so my dad could find work. When I was 16, I joined the Army to fight in the First World War and learned to be an expert marksman with a rifle. I served with distinction and finished my tour. Shortly after that, I re-enlisted. Everything was going great. The Army fed and housed us, and I even had a little pocket money. If I really had to pick one thing that changed the course of my life, I think it was when I got married. Maybe I just wasn't ready for marriage. Maybe I'm not cut out to be a married man at all. But I met this girl, Mary, from Wisconsin. She was beautiful, and she liked me too. I believed everything she told me, but like I said, that's when things started going downhill. I was in my early 20s, and my new bride wanted a big house and nice clothes, and I was just a regular Army Joe. I couldn't give her what she wanted. Not that I didn't want to. I wanted to make that girl happy. I tried to make her happy, but it wasn't enough. We had a fight one night, and I decided that if I couldn't buy her what she wanted, I'd steal it instead. There are rich people who won't miss a few trinkets, right? Unfortunately, I wasn't so good at burglary yet. I got caught and ended up getting dishonorably discharged for deserting the same month. The judge sentenced me to 3 years in the penitentiary. I should have known Mary wouldn't wait for me. I only did this for her, and she refused to even visit me in the pen and sent me a letter saying she was filing for divorce. When I got out in 1929, I was still pretty angry over the whole situation. Criminals aren't treated like regular people, and it was hard to find a job. I got back in with a couple of guys who were planning a big heist. It seemed like easy money. I just had the worst luck, I guess, because I got caught again. This time, I spent 5 years in prison. I know how to survive behind bars, almost like I belong. I didn't like getting caught, though, so I kept learning each time what to avoid and tried to get better at taking what I needed. Even still, 5 years is a long time. When I got out in 1935, I really tried to get away from criminal activities. I loved painting and decorating, and I had a love for books. Ex-felons have a hard time finding good jobs, though, and there was never enough money. A guy can only struggle like that for so long. The cards seemed stacked against me, and I struggled with feelings of low self-worth and anxiety. Drinking helped. But you need money for that, too. I'd gotten to know my cousin Delbert again, and he and I and my brother Richard Samuel started joking around about robbing a bank to get some real cash. We decided to start small and hold up a Louisville liquor store. We didn't get caught, so we thought we were ready for something bigger. On March 25th, 1937, we robbed the Bank of New Haven. I took my sawed-off shotgun, but never used it, and made off with a little over $2,000. Delbert went to hide out at his uncle's house, Richard headed for Illinois, and I took off for Wisconsin. On April 19th, the FBI found me in Cashton and arrested Richard in Peoria the same day. On June 3rd, I stood before the judge as he sentenced me to 25 years in the federal penitentiary in Atlanta. Well, I apparently gave them too many problems in Atlanta, so around November of that year, they transferred me to Alcatraz off the California coast. I've been here for 9 years now. I am considered a model prisoner and work in the prison library, where I enjoy getting to read and dispense books to the other inmates. I have a lot of freedom and never give the guards any problems. I've seen some pretty gruesome things here at Alcatraz. I've seen the prisoners go on strike. I've seen inmates attack Warden Johnson. Every year, prisoners attempt to escape and die trying. The year after I got here, Al Capone was transferred to Terminal Island for his last year of imprisonment. We heard the Attorney General refer to Alcatraz as a horror spot. He only saw an inkling of the atrocities here. I've seen hostage situations, stabbings, and worse. The Supreme Court denied me a review of my court trial a few years ago, so I've given up getting out of here by legal means. I've been watching and planning for years, and I think I've figured a way off this rock. Finally, there's some hope. On May 2nd, me and some guys are going to do what no one's been able to do so far: escape from Alcatraz. Wish me luck.
On May 2, 1946, Bernard Paul Coy and several other inmates attempted to escape from Alcatraz prison. In what has come to be known as the Battle of Alcatraz, Coy was shot and killed. He is buried at Woodlawn Memorial Park Cemetery.